New Jersey has suffered major problems with email voting for its residents.
And voters are facing long waits to vote in the key swing states of North Virginia, South Florida and Pennsylvania.
Hello, I'm Jasper Taylor.
And I'm Charlotte Foote. This is US 2012, live from the Bournemouth University News Lab. For the next 10 hours, we'll be bringing you the latest news, results and analysis as millions of Americans go to the polls. Gareth Hill has been investigating how the British and American systems compare.
United Kingdom, United States of America. Some may say we're not so different. We eat in the same restaurants. We drink in the same coffee shops, go to the same movies. We're even fighting the same wars. But when it comes to our political systems, just how similar are we? For the Houses of Parliament here in London, read Capitol Hill in Washington. MPs are elected to the House of Commons just as politicians are to the House of Representatives in the US. However, the House of Lords is an unelected chamber, whereas the Senate, the upper house in Washington, is fully elected. But essentially, their role is one and the same. A bill must pass through the Commons and the Lords, the House of Representatives and the Senate, before it can be passed on to the head of state to be signed off as law.
Now, we often hear about the presidents, but what about the First Ladies?
Let's say hello to the most recent First Lady, Michelle Obama. Having resided in the White House for 4 years, it wasn't all tending roses for the incumbent First Lady. She championed anti-childhood obesity campaign Let's Move, aimed at combating the problem that 1 in 3 American children are overweight or obese. Across the pond, she's made quite an impact by touring cancer wards with Sarah Brown, wife of the ex-Prime Minister, as well as impressing the Queen. But this life is far from Michelle's humble upbringing in a 1-bedroom apartment in southern Illinois. Later, she would go on to graduate from Harvard Law School in 1988 and started working for law firm Sidley Austin, where she met future husband Barack.
The US is blamed in many quarters for starting the global economic collapse back in 2008, and the current administration is continuing to fight low growth, high unemployment and a massive budget deficit. So, just what kind of an impact has the economy had on the campaign? NewsLab's Ollie Hill has been finding out.
Now, economics might not be the most exciting subject in the world, but there's one thing for sure, it does matter to all of us. Question is, how much will it matter to the American voters when they come to elect their next president?
This particular presidential election, it's the economy stupid kind of an election. Poll after poll after poll is coming out saying that people are really concerned about the economy and unemployment.
We are constantly told of the so-called special relationship between London and Washington.
But are we really equal partners? Are we really the best of friends? Former Prime Minister Tony Blair has often referred to Bush's poodle. So who gets what out of our friendship? Hannah Smithson has more.
Okay, so who did you vote for?
Obama.
Obama. Yeah. And why did you vote for Obama?
I just genuinely feel that he's been a really good president so far. I think he's had a bit of a rough time, people not really thinking he's done a great job, but I think he's had to make some difficult decisions, and he just seems like a cool guy, yeah. Quite like him.
He's also done the job for a while now, and also it's really easy for someone else to come in and criticise someone else's work. But he hasn't done it before, he hasn't been in those shoes before, and I think that a candidate who reruns has learned from the past time in office, so I think that he can maybe bring some additional things to the table if we stick with Obama. So.
What do you think then?
OK, for 4 years we've heard Obama this and Obama that, and since August we've heard Romney this and Romney that. You think we already knew everything there is to know about these men. Our busy bee Joshua Saunders is back in his swanky loft to tell you more of his knowledge.
Welcome back. Wasn't expecting to see you so soon. But while we're here, I may as well explain to you about the presidential candidate. So, I mean, how well do you know the 2 main candidates in this election? Whoever wins in this election will be the 45th President of America and in power for the next 4 years. So it's probably about time we flip through the baby photos of their lives to uncover who they actually are. Barack Obama. Born Barack Hussein Obama in Honolulu, Hawaii on August the 4th, 1961, a day that he shares with the UK's deceased Queen Mother and musician Louis Armstrong. During his childhood, Barry, as he was known by friends, lived in Hawaii, Seattle, and spent the ages 5 to 9 in Jakarta, Indonesia. Now his main opponent, the face of Mitt Romney. Born Willard Mitt Romney in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan on March the 12th, 1947, he shares this day with actress Liza Minnelli and on-the-road writer Jack Kerouac. Mitt grew up in Bloomfield Hills in Michigan, meeting partner Ann Davies during school and informally get engaged when he was but 18. But Mitt soon departed for France on a 30-month Mormon missionary, only returned when he realised his relationship with Anne could be all but over in 1968. And 3 months later, they were married.
President Barack Obama finally threw his support behind same-sex marriage.
Mitt Romney, however, is opposed to wedlock for same-sex couples on religious grounds. But is this debate really about the union between two men or two women? Or is it something deeper going on? Alice Simon-Denville investigates.
Michael is an 18-year-old Californian who studies in London. He realised he was gay when he was younger and feels British society is more accepting of his sexuality.
I think in the States, I feel like there's much more of a larger conservative group of people than compared to the UK, at least. Here I feel very open and I don't really feel judged while I'm walking down the street.
Same-sex marriage is arguably more important now than ever before in the US. But why is that? Well, mainly because of a piece of American legislation often referred to as the DOMA, or using its full name, the Defense of Marriage Act.
Breaking news. Barack Obama has been re-elected as President of United States.
Thank you. We're now going to cross live to our infographics presenter, Joshua Saunders. Josh?
Welcome back to the final hours of coverage of Bournemouth University's US 2012 elections. Now, we've witnessed an Obama victory, which will cement another term in power for President Obama. So let's start by recapping the states that won Obama the election. So we have Vermont, Illinois, Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Minnesota, California, Washington, Hawaii, Iowa, Oregon, Ohio and Nevada, and that's what gave him the 290 electoral college votes. That's 20 more than he needed to gain the presidency.